Hey folks, it's Tuesday the 18th, and I can actually show you some music. I also to let you folks know, the last batch of Murphy that was ordered over the weekend and Monday, those records are going out today. I got my order of LP mailers in, so after I make this video, I'm headed to the post office to mail out the latest orders of Murphy. When I went out yesterday, I went ahead and went down to Hip Stop Records because Jesse, another VC member, called me and said he'd gotten some records he thought for sure I'd be interested in, and he was right. So I spent a little money yesterday. I'm still being real tight. I think it's the wise thing to do, is to be tight with money, because you never know what's going to happen next. And, you know, these are really, to me, these are really strange times, and I don't agree with people who keep telling me that things are getting better. I don't agree with you. I don't see that at all. I don't know where you live, but it's not like that over here. Things are not getting better over here as far as cumulative world events involving politics and trends. I'm sorry, I don't see things getting better. I don't. You know, if things are getting better, good. Something good is happening somewhere. But you folks know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I picked up electronic music. John Cage, Luciano Berio, Ilan Mimaroglu. The record is beat, but I bought it anyway, and I paid Jesse what you wanted for it. If you see this, Jesse, I'm telling you, this record is trashed. So, you know, if you paid what I paid for it, you paid too much. You know, I'm not complaining to you, Jesse. I'm saying I've played this both sides, and I'm glad to have this, you know. But if you paid what I paid you for it, you know, somebody wasn't nice. Somebody wasn't right. This is pretty beat. But this is one of those kind of things that belongs in my collection, as well as the fact that I still find this music and this work very, very interesting and enjoyable. Yeah, it entertains me as well as I continue to learn from it. He had gotten in some records from one of his buddies where they, you know, they're always going to thrift stores and stuff, you know, and he brought in a pile of mostly junk, but I got this one from him for a couple of bucks. Talking Heads, Stop Making Sense. You know, I'm not the biggest Talking Heads fan, and when they were happening, you know, I thought they were bands that were so much more interesting, but I respect what Talking Heads did. I do like the music, you know, and actually I really enjoyed this yesterday. It was on, and I left it on because it was just, you know, by the time we get down to Girlfriend Is Better, you know, it's great with Bernie Worrell on keys. I saw the Talking Heads on their Fear of Music tour, but I didn't see the show. I saw the sound check and met Tina Weymouth because I had a gig that night myself here in town. So myself and another musician friend, we snuck down to the old music box. Somehow we knew they were doing their sound check, and so we got to watch them do their sound check. And I didn't know what to say to David Byrne, so can't say I met him, but I was within his proximity, but I still didn't know anything about the band. So Tina was a cutie, so that's, you know, I'm a guy. I talked her up, not in a shitty way, but you know what I'm saying. You see a cool woman musician. It's like, yeah, I want to meet you, girl. Wow. Okay. The other thing I bought yesterday, and I haggled on it because I knew that the record was probably going to be a little on the rough side, and it's okay. It's actually in decent shape, but I don't play this stuff. But it's kind of like a retro thing where it's like I used to really be into Cabaret Voltaire, but I sold most of their stuff. So now when I see it cheaply, if I can get it cheaply back, that's what I'm doing. This is 12 by 45. by Cabaret Voltaire. This is not the original version. This is Italian ratio on bass. And it's hard to listen to Cabaret Voltaire now. It really sounds dated. But that's because they were so pioneering. They were so far ahead of the game and just really trying things that it dates them. But this is another one I picked up. Glad to have it back in the collection. One that Jesse gave me. Thank you for giving this to me, Jesse, because this is not what I like to listen to, but I like the MPS label, and I'd collect it if I were rich. MPS, BASF, I would collect them all if I had money. But here's George Shearing, Light, Airy, and Swinging. With Styx Hooper and Andy Simpkins. It's music to eat dinner by. The reason why I like it, very simply, is I love this label. There are some amazing albums on the BASF MPS label. Some really highly collectible psychedelia as well as jazz stuff that you don't see. And it's usually pretty pricey when you see it. So anytime I can pick up an MPS, just in general for the collection, I like doing that. The find of the day, or the thing that Jesse got in that I'm real happy about, this is a major addition to my collection. I collect the Actuel series, Big Actuel. And this is a sampler which I frankly don't remember ever seeing. If I ever saw it, I don't remember. But I paid full price of what Jesse wanted for this. No complaints. Really happy to have this. Look who is... It's a sampler of what's on the label. Everyone from Don Cherry to Archie Shepp to Sun Ra to Clifford Thornton. Look at that. Gretchen Moncur Art Ensemble of Chicago. Double album. Really happy to get this. Jesse, if you see this, thank you. I also like the fact that one of the records is on the different, two different versions of the label. This version, and then the more well-known black version of the label. A real welcome addition to my collection here, Jesse. Thank you so much. Okay. I'd like to share, in closing, I'm going to keep this short. If you bought Murphy and you mentioned it in your video, if you don't mind, would you let me know? Leave me a comment and a link. I'd like to see what you have to say about the album. I don't think it's yeah, it's just being honest. Yeah, you know, I'd like to, if you talk about my record, I'd like to know what you say. Send me a link. The other thing I'd say is that, you know, I am now officially over halfway sold of the Murphys. I've sold 130 something copies of the 250 made. So this is over halfway gone in a week. Of course, it was pre-ordered, but since it dropped, you know, people are ordering. Once again, I want to thank you folks in Europe and the rest of the world for ordering, because you're still buying it overseas. The postage is, I think I still have it at straight $19, so I am actually helping you get the album, paying about $1.50 on the postage for you. Jeff McLennan, whose photo I use here on the back, just let me know that he got his copy and that he's happy with it, and that his little boy, his little toddler, actually danced to it. That's the biggest compliment that I can have. You know, children respond, as you all know. Children and animals, they just respond honestly, and that's the biggest compliment that I can ever get, is when children like what I'm doing, because I'm not making it. I'm not focused on a particular audience. I'm just focused on trying to make music that I like, that I'm able to make. Kathy Berberian here on, I'm going to take it off. On a few videos back, someone had commented how they thought the cover was, I don't forget what they said because I don't care, you know, but it was like they don't like the cover, and that's fine, you know, and that's fine. I really like this. This, you know, I'm not concerned about whether or not this is artistically correct according to some sort of criteria. They were saying something about the different fonts being used and how this is clunky. I did this on purpose because I wanted to see it, because I don't see it. You know, I like that. You know, this is on purpose, the use of these different fonts. And whatever you think of the front, I love it. I really like this a lot. That's why I designed it. I'm not insulted by the fact that someone has a different opinion and told me. It's fine, you know. You know, when it comes to people commenting on my videos, the only time I have a problem is when I sense nastiness or some sort of agenda where the person is targeting me for something negative. I'm not having it. And if I misinterpret it, you know, and the person lets me know, I'm cool with that, and I'll say so, because I've had those sort of interactions with people where I bristle, not really understanding where they're coming from, because words on the computer don't transfer meaning well. Nuance, emotion, subtleness. It's not there in the words, so you're left to interpret, you know, depending on what you know or don't know about people. So that's fine giving me your opinion about my stuff, you know. If I think you're being nasty, I'll treat you just like I would if I was in real life, you know. You can come up to me and act like an ass. You think I'm going to be cool with that? Don't try me. I'm a man of peace. Understand those words. Okay, so real happy to have this in the collection now. And if you'd like me to, if you talk about my record, I'd like to see what you say. Please, you know, leave me a link.